right, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Trying to keep this relatively quiet. It's something like almost 1 in the morning here on the East Coast. So, would feel absolutely terrible if if I woke up my neighbors. But welcome everyone. This is Kerbal. We are back, finally playing Kerbal Space Program. It's been a while. We have this on the launch pad. Hopefully we'll get to surprise you all with what this monstrosity is. Hopefully it will work. We did a quick little test flight of it prior to this, but we will see if it actually launches. So we have a massive payload that we're trying to launch here. So we have our large Kerbal tanks with, I think it's a Rhino on the bottom and a couple more of these Mastodon lights, and we have 4 kickback boosters. So we have a lot of power behind this thing, and we still are going to need every ounce of this fuel to get ourselves up into an orbit, just for low Kerbal orbit. This is a massive payload we're trying to deliver, and it's a little specialty that we're going to have here for Kerbal. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, throttle is at maximum, SES is on. Let's launch this baby. And 3, 2, 1, go. Look at that. Beautiful. It is lifting off nicely. Now, I am not touching anything on the controls. The way this thing is, it is so sensitive to any sort of extra input. We are just letting this burn completely straight up as much as possible, letting it stay on that prograde marker there. And we're essentially just going to launch this straight into the atmosphere. This has been a project for most of the day, actually. Talking with people online a little bit, getting some feedback as to the design of the craft and how best to launch this large payload. We ended up deciding to go with a large fairing for this. It ended up being a very challenging launch. It's not the most reliable of vehicles, so we're actually going to do one quick little thing here while we're not forgetting about it. We're actually going to throttle down a little bit. It's the only way I can find myself doing this is any sort of decency, throttling down to almost nothing, and then doing that separation stage. So now we'll throttle ourselves back up to maximum, picking up our speed again. We're just going to check where we are in the map view real quick, see what our apoapsis is at. This is even right there. We're only at 15,000 feet. This is a massive ship. Really takes almost everything to start getting this up into the atmosphere. Really, normally we'd be already over at the 45-degree circle on this launcher. We're gonna barely start tipping ourselves over a little bit, tiny smidges. This is by no means the most efficient launch, but we will need to make it work. See, even here, we're only at 500 and so meters per second, 600 or so. It's not efficient by any stretch of the imagination. And we're already at 32. As I said, pretty much straight up. Getting as much speed as possible. Alright, and there go our engines. So we're up to 73 on our apoapsis. What we're going to do is we are going to... let's see. Real close now. We should be jettisoning that fairing, and we'll get a good look at what we have now. Oh, I hope we didn't lose anything. It looks like we're good. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are. As you can see, the Kerbal spine is making its way into some semblance of an orbit. We are going to do our best to get this all the way into a nice, stable orbit around Earth. I think we have enough to make it work. We're really going to have to push the limits, probably put it into a really high orbit. But we're just going to lay this down pretty much flat at this point and see what we can do. We have tons of delta V. We're technically out in space. But look at this thing. This thing is gorgeous. I was trying to find something sort of unique to do. This is technically an anatomically correct spine. We were just having a little bit of fun thinking about things, and I was thinking about chiropractic in space. And I said, you know what? I don't think anyone's done like large anatomy for Kerbal Space Program. So let's just see what that does. All right, that is probably, we'll park it at least 150, and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna shut the engines off, make my maneuver node, and then we'll start doing that. There we go. Work smarter, not harder. All right. 43 seconds before the node. That's going to be about 22 seconds, roughly, that we need to burn. That's 150. There we go. That'll do. This is going to be a beautiful little orbit here. Absolutely gorgeous. Can't believe it. It was a very challenging ship, I have to say. It's not a... it's very unruly. And I'll go over the ship design in 1 second. Once we get ourselves into orbit, we'll do a little panorama shots of the whole craft. But overall, it looks pretty awesome. Honestly, gotta say. Let's not get distracted here and make sure we hit our maneuver node. Alright, coming up, 22 seconds, and mark. As you see there, that engine, even just the one vector that we have back there, the whole spine just kind of wobbles back and forth. In between each of these vertebrae that we have here, these little sections of rocket fuselage, is a reaction wheel all the way down till the last of the lumbar spine that we have down here, and those are some batteries. Because I had a feeling that we were going to run out of electric charge, because we didn't really put any RTGs on this one. We could have stuck on the inside, but we also didn't put any solar panels on this. The idea that we have is maybe actually take it to, not take it to anywhere in particular, but take it for a little craft to make a giant Kerbal in the space, giant Kerbal skeleton, I should say, in space. Somebody gave this an analog as to one of the Reapers from Mass Effect, which is pretty awesome thought too. So yeah, we have our top of our vertebrae here on just the base of the skull, pretty much. We have our first cervical, second cervical, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then if the eagle eyes among you will notice the spinous processes of the vertebrae actually change as they normally would, also in the spine. And then we're into thoracic, so you can count those out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 thoracic vertebrae all the way down, and those are including, let me just rotate the craft for you to see better. Those are also including all the places that we would have for rib attachments. So maybe in a future video we're going to actually put some ribs onto it. We'll see about that. And then obviously we have our lumbar vertebrae, all 5 of them, with different vertebrae fins as well. And then we have the sacrum and the coccyx part of the spine as well. So that is it. That is a whole anatomical spine, beautifully flowing up in Kerbal's, up above Kerbin. I'm very, very happy that this is come together nicely. And oh, that's beautiful there. Little mun clips going on. You know, we'll rotate the craft a little bit. It's going to kind of look like a giant sea serpent to everyone, I'm sure. But this was definitely a very interesting build, interesting thing to do. I hope you guys enjoyed the short little video that we have here of this. I look forward to doing more with this one. It's just going to sit here in low Kerbal orbit for a while. Probably it will run out of battery until I end up doing something with getting some RTGs or solar panels, maybe on the ribs. The ribs will be made of something with solar panels on them. Just something. Maybe even just the head will be a massive solar panel. Maybe we'll make this into a giant Jebediah Kerman. But we'll see. But that's really it for the craft. It wasn't that difficult. You just take things, angle parts, and it was a pretty good launch, actually. Not the most efficient thing in the world, but we still have 1343 meters per second of delta V left. And the ship itself, you know, it's got some, I think it has some odd 200 parts total. But there she is, beautifully in Kerbin's orbit. All right. That is it for me, folks. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time building this. Thank you, guys. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of this craft and what we're going to do with it in the future. All right. This is Kerbal signing off. You guys have a great night.